Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the channel. My name is Rivka. Thank you for joining me today. I just woke up this morning feeling that I have to talk again and remind everyone who is listening that has what the Western medical call fibromyalgia, or what we call inflammation that is flaring up and down in our body sometime, for some people more than others. And we did have a couple of videos. I think I did 3 videos on that with different suggestions of what to do. And I woke up this morning feeling that I need to go back on it a little bit and encourage you to have a look at where you've been and where you are now. Because as you travel through time and you started to take herbs and you start to change your diet and you started to do meditations a little bit and some exercises that are good for you, and you think, I'm not getting any better. You need to stop and go, hang on a minute. What can I do today that I couldn't do yesterday? Or how do I actually feel? Because you might still not feeling really the best. But if you compare yourself to what you were a month ago, 6 months ago, you might see a difference and it'll give you encouragement. Also, the weather is changing. It's now getting spring. There's things that we need to change. We need to warm up differently, but we still have to keep up really warm. Our kidneys have to be really, really warm right now as the weather is changing. From the evenings are cooler, the days are warmer, our body's starting to go way-ho. You got to go back to what we remembered and what we don't remember, go back on those herbs. So I'm here to remind you. All right, so first of all, remember to take lots of greens. So the way I do it, although I love eating greens, I also, anytime I get my hand on, and in the garden I grow all sorts of herbs and all sorts of greens that I can. If I can get my hand on moringa leaves, I crush them and I make this powder. This one in particular is a mixture of rock art and spinach, and I think there's even a little bit of left moringa from last year in it, the leaves. And what I do is I sprinkle it on anything and everything. And if I make a soup, I make sure that I put a couple of spoons of it. You won't taste it. When I make a cake, I put it in. When I make biscuits, when I make bread, I put greens on everything. And you don't taste it hardly when you just sprinkle it, but it adds to the amount of greens that you need in your body, because when inflammation, you need a lot of it. I also remind you to use the pepper. Actually, I should put it here. Pepper, turmeric, ginger, using them together. It's wonderful. I actually finished my beetroot, so I can't show you the beetroot, but it's very important to add to it too. If you're not a vegan, if you're vegetarian or you eat meat, it's up to you what you eat. Eggs, I feel, have always been very, very helpful. And at this time of the year, soft-boiled eggs is really, really good. This is a bottle of castor oil. Now, I mix it with essential oil and I put it in a small bottle. And every morning I put it on, I put it off, put it on different parts of the body. And it's extremely helpful. Swedish bitters, always been my number one remedy for stomach, for headaches, for lack of appetite, for too much appetite, for you go and have a look, just about anything. Very good to have in your cupboard. And last and not least that I've got today here is the perfect iodine. So a few drops of that a day. Now this of course is the concentrated one. You don't take it from the concentrated one. You actually mix it in a little bottle. I'm too embarrassed to show you my old bottle, so I'm just showing you the nice one. And another thing that I really, really love is my tuning forks. This one is a healing tuning fork, so it's 174. I just love using it as a way of sort of helping the areas that are uncomfortable, particularly early in the morning. It's a little bit, when it's cold, and there's areas that are more painful. Most teeth just feel unwell, or so I love using them. I also do little healing pictures, and I make sure that I try to understand through the healing that I'm doing what is exactly going on. Is it really inflammation that is coming up in certain area? Is it the weather that is affecting me now? Is it the world that's affecting me now? Because there's so many things around that are happening. There's so many pressures from everywhere that sometimes it's not easy to understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling, and you're thinking that your body is going crazy, but it's actually an effect from outside. It's the news that you're listening to, or things that you've seen, or pressure from your friends or relatives or whatever. It's very important to sit and be calm and take a few breaths every day. Just breathe in and out. See that you're safe. See that you're protected. See that you're warm. And if you're not one of those things, try and get help. Try and find a place that is nice and calm and relaxing. You can sit there even for a few minutes. I always say that if you're going to work and you go into your car, then every day as you get into your car, you close the door, you put your seatbelt on, you put the key in the ignition, and then you go, okay, breathe in, breathe out. Take a breath. Only then start the car. I know that sometimes people are so much in a hurry, but in reality, you can get stuck in a red light, and so what if you're in a hurry? You can't go anywhere, you have to wait. So you might as well start the day calm. Also, a cup of tea is always amazing. So make yourself a nice cup of tea. We do have the teas for inflammation. I'll remind you again. You take horsetail, you take yarrow, and you take thyme, the herb thyme. You mix them together in equal amount, and then you drink them every day. You start by a lot, 8 cups a day. So I do 2 thermoses full. Drink them first. And then I also make myself teas that I really like. So I really enjoy dandelion, with roasted dandelion with milk. I try to find a really dark one, and if I can't find it, then I roast it extra in the oven. I like to drink a mixture of skullcap and ashwagandha. That's a really nice tea in the evening before you go to bed to help you sleep. I do have every couple of days a cup of Earl Grey, because it's one of my favorite, always been my favorite, and I sort of make it special. And I also try to make really nice biscuits or things like this, and I try to use all sorts of flours that I made myself. So the last one I made was with half of it was normal flour, but the other half was sweet potato flour that I made. It was really nice, and also I add coconut flour into it, so that helped the sweetener. And then whatever sweet you're using, if you're still using sugar, then use sugar. If you prefer to use honey, use honey. When I first started to learn Ayurvedic, I remember people were saying, but why are you cooking with honey? And it's like, you can cook with honey. You might lose a few little things, but it still gives you a much better result, and it's still really, really good for you compared to the white sugar, which is just toxic. You want to use xylitol, you want to use stevia. I heard yesterday someone was saying, oh, but stevia is not very good. It's not really good for your reproductive. Yeah, well, it's all in moderation. If you're going to sit there and eat spoonfuls and spoonfuls and spoonfuls of it, then sure, but if you're using it as a sweetener in your cake, so you have less inflammation in your body, you want something nice and sweet, but you don't want to use something that creates inflammation like white sugar, then how much are you eating of it? So there's a proportion here, and you are doing all the other things, then it makes it really well. Anyway, I really felt this morning that it's important to have a chat about it. So I'm sending you all lots and lots and lots of love. Pay attention. The weather is changing. The atmosphere is changing. The pressure is changing. Pay attention to it. Be aware, awake. Open your eyes. Open your heart. Be calm. Very important. Talk about it to someone else if you need to. But most of all, be aware. Use your intuition. Pay attention what's going around you. Realize that so many things affect you, and that when you've got that so much information in your body going from one place to the other, a lot of things affect you. A lot of things. People that you meet in the supermarket, what happened in the news, like I said, they affect you. So you need to take a breath. You need to pay attention. And that way, you're all able to have a look back and say, oh, wow, I'm actually getting better. I'm actually developing. I'm actually feeling like certain things are changing. And sometimes other things don't. And you have to pay attention why they don't change and see if maybe there's an extra thing that you need to do, an extra remedy that you need to take, and it's okay to check around and pay attention what's available. Now, another thing I wanted to remind you that when you look at fruit, pay attention what fruit is too acid for you, and what fruit is not. Mostly you need sweet fruit. Soon the watermelon is going to come out. It'll be amazing. But if you're going to eat an apple, eat a sweet apple. Preferably cook it a little bit. Preferably roast it. But if you want to eat it as it is, fine. But it's a sweet apple, not a sour one. If you want to eat the citrus, have sweet mandarins. Don't have oranges. So just pay attention to what you're eating and how it affects you. Ultimately, you know what's best for your body. You just have to trust it to talk to you, and you have to trust yourself to listen. I wish you lots and lots of love and lots of healing. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for listening. Share it if you know anyone who needs. Lots of love.